Hello and welcome to another video. It's Richard Jepp here at sunny Navarra. Something a little bit different this weekend for me. I've teamed back up with Team ProAM, raced in their 4KA earlier in the season, done 5 hours at Silverstone. They've also got a Clio that they run in MSV Trackday Championship and Trophy. So I've come over here to race it in the Trophy series. So 45 minutes all by myself, which will be interesting. Mandatory pit stop for 2 minutes. We got qualifying, which is 25 minutes today, and then later on today we got the 45-minute race. So the weather is looking glorious. It's going to be about 23 degrees. I'm all wrapped up at the moment because it is a little bit chilly, but yeah, it's going to warm up quick. Let's see how we get on. I just got to say a massive thank you to Rocked as well. Keep supplying me with the goods and all responses. So thank you to Harwin, thank you to Star Mechanics, GF Machining Solutions, Rainford Precision, everyone that's made the season possible. You know, this is sort of coming into the final couple of rounds now, and it's really been a great year. I'm hoping to build on that for next year, but always depends on budget. And as always, it's really helpful if you're liking what I'm doing, just to like the video, chuck a comment on there, share, and if you want to see more as well, subscribe. You get all the notifications. Really appreciate it. It's something new for me this season, so going to try and build on it for next season, keep going forward.
Look how elegant he gets then.
So we are just going into my qualifying lap now at the beautiful Navarra for MSV Trackday Trophy. Coming out the last turn now, coming onto the start finish straight, making sure I get a great exit there. In third gear now, up to fourth. Coming across the start finish line now. So the car that just went past me is in Class B, absolutely rapid that car, but not so good in the corners. Coming into the first complex, T1, 2 and 3 is very difficult braking here, where you're turning, braking, shifting. Quickly tightens into this turn 3. Very important to get a good exit here again. Little kink at turn 4, flat out, up to 4th gear. This corner here is very tough as well. The turn 5, turn 6 complex. Again, braking and turning, down into 3rd. Getting held up a little bit here by the Fiesta in front of me. Cut the corner of 7 a little bit there. Hard braking again into T8. Should have been down to second here, but I didn't know what that Fiesta was going to do. So I kept in third. He let me pass, luckily. It was great. Along the back straight. Another hard braking section here. Very difficult to get your braking point correct there. Get the turn in nice and tight. Up to third. Going into the new section here at Navarra. Any of you that play iRacing will see that this is a little bit different to the layout there. This corner here is a bit of a hairpin. I had a big lock up on the way in. Sort of V'd it off in the end. It's coming down into turn 13, 14 complex. Nice and fast S's. Hit both apexes really nice here. Coming into another sharp T15 down to second. Big curb on the inside. Just about clipped it. Little kink of T14 coming up. T16, sorry. Flat out. Coming into the last corner. T17 down to second. Back onto the start finish straight. This is my fastest lap in qualifying, put me P1 in class and P6 overall. Was a good lap, a few mistakes, got held up a little bit, so I reckon there was quite a bit of time left in that, but I was quite happy in the end. I knew it put me P1, I was on the radio with them already, so all good, all set for the race. So we just did from qualifying here at Navarra. Went really well. Ended up P6 overall, but P1 in class, so about 0.4 of a second. Quite a lot of time still in it as well. My best lap, but I made a couple of mistakes, and I got held up a little bit. So I think there's another probably 3/4 of a second in that. So looking good for the race. The guys are out in their track day championship in a sec. So tyre change and stuff for them, and then we'll be setting up ready for the race a little bit later on. See how we can get on. It's a bit better than UK, isn't it? Get in, lad. Yes, mate. Smashed it.
And the winner, el vencedor de la categoría C, Chris Dunster y Scott Thompson. Congratulations, Mr. Jonathan Palmer, NSV CAO, don Jonathan Palmer, el CEO de MSV.
So, just going to the start of the race now. See me in the middle of the screen there. Had an absolutely rocket start. Right on the back of the A-class cars in front. So I should have started P6, but for whatever reason there was a few cars that didn't make the start of the race. So there's two A-class cars in front. I managed to pull away from P4, who was second in my class. Rear tyre is very cold at the moment. So the first few laps, just wanted to keep it clean, start building a gap. I knew I had the pace over the other cars in my class. See, the rears are very twitchy. I can see the guys in front battling out. The BMW had a bit of a moment here, went off track. Thought he might dart across in front of me, but I managed to sneak past him. So I'm currently P2 overall. Now I knew he was going to come darting past me very soon. That car's rapid in a straight line. So I held my line, kept pushing on. You see him in the mirror. He's quite kind, didn't do any diving there, so I pulled over to the right, made sure I kept it tight on the right hand side for him to be able to get past me down onto the left. So now it's a case of just trying to manage things. It's a long race, 45-minute race with one mandatory pit stop, 2-minute pit stop sometime in the middle. With the weather being quite warm, the track temps being quite warm, I just wanted to manage the tyres, didn't want them starting to go off and causing me any problems. There had been a few punches in other races as well from hitting the curbs too hard, so it was all in the back of my mind. Just wanted to manage things, keep things steady. Going up to the end of lap one now. Managed to already pull about a 4 or 5 second gap on the guys behind, so all looking very good at the moment. I was on the radio to the guys on the pit wall. So stepping into, I think this was about lap 5. Yellow flag going into the first section. See a car over there stranded. I think he had a mechanical issue. So the yellow flag come in. I was on the radio letting them know that happens. If there's a safety car, it can change the strategy a little bit. Bit of an issue with the gearboxes. I was struggling all weekend with that, to be honest. Flicking between 5th and 3rd. So eventually the safety car came out for that car that was in the first section, just so they could recover it. So started to slow down slightly to see if I could time getting into the pits okay, but we're outside of the pit window still. It's quite early on in the race. So catching up to the safety car and the cars in front now. Giving everything a bit of a cool down. The front tyres in this front wheel drive car, they do take a pounding around Navarra. There's a lot of turning and braking and accelerating at the same time, so you're always pushing on the fronts, so it's good to give them a bit of a break. You can hear me on the radio there telling them coming to the last corner, safety car lights were out, so just wanted to time the start nicely, get right on the back of this BMW in front. I knew they were going to drive away from me, but what I didn't want is it's a Civic Type R behind me. It's quite quick in a straight line as well. I wanted to give myself the best run out of this corner. Obviously not run into the back of the guys in front, so there's a little gap, but I didn't want them suddenly stopping up behind me. You can see in the rear view mirror, managed to get a good jump on the guy behind. But he's definitely still within striking distance, so just keep an eye on that mirror, but also keep an eye up front and starting the battle. Making more sure I don't miss any of my apexes. You can see that the Civic that was behind me there got right up behind me on the entrance, but it always compromises exits, so it's quite a difficult place to park that to pass in that T1. Trying to cut tight there, you're going to start losing the back end. So again, it's in my head, all I'm thinking about is building that lead up again, making sure I hit all my markers. I love the sound of this car. It's a little Clio, it sounds absolutely awesome. So raw sounding. So I was just reporting a bit of smoke that's coming out of the back of the BMW in front. He had a couple of problems during testing on the Friday. He's dropping a bit of oil. He actually only ran about half a test session. He had to then not race for the rest of the day because of the issue. So I was a little bit wary, just making sure there was no oil being dropped down on the track. Everything seemed okay. I was reporting it back to the team as well, just in case they had to report anything back to race control. They might throw out a safety car, which again changes strategies. We're not trying to get anyone in trouble or anything from that. We just want to make sure that we're on the best strategy to give us the best result. Let's go around to complete another lap. See in the rear view mirror, I've managed to claw out about a second and a half over the car behind, so nice and steady, just building up that lead again. Let's skip forward again. See, you started having a few problems with the gearbox. When it's someone else's car, you're always a little bit wary. You don't want to do that classic money shift, especially when I've travelled so far to race out here, and so I was quite careful with the shifting. At this point in the race, the front right just started to get a bit hot. You can see I missed that second apex there. It's just started to push out a little bit. It's such a great track, man. To have like good racing around here, racing abroad, is something I never thought I'd be able to do. So to be out here in real life in a Clio, great car to drive, absolutely amazing circuit. I really do say to anyone, if you get the chance, get out there, have a good race around here. It is a great track to drive. So I'm in conversation with the team at the moment, just working out when's going to be best to pit. The pit window is open now. Just trying to see what the others do. We don't want to get into the pits where it's busy. Like, we're going to give ourselves the best chance of getting a good pit time. We decided to go another lap. So the car behind me dived into the pits this lap. So we were going to plan on doing whatever the car behind didn't do. So they've gone in this lap, we're going to come in this next lap coming up. So in fifth gear here, fastest part of the circuit, turning, spotting the marker, getting down to fourth, down to third just before this apex, and back into second again to make sure you get a turn in. The entry curb really serrated going into there, so it pulls the rear end down a little bit. Up to fourth gear. This is another one of the toughest corners on the track. Fourth gear. Rear's really loose, going down into third nice and early. Trying to hug that second apex. Cut the right hander. Spotting the apex for this corner and getting the exit right is critical. There's a nice long straight after this. Up to fourth. Another really tough corner to get the braking right for. Opens out on exit. Hug that right hand curb. Get it tucked in for this new hairpin. So a little bit of camber here, so it's nice to get it tucked in, and actually camber changes halfway through the corner, so you start to drift out halfway round. I'm already planning on coming in this lap, so I'm just letting the team know where I am on the circuit to make sure they're ready. The last top right hander before the pit entry. So you can see I've just punched in the pit entry button, so it shows me the speed limit. So the speed limit line is just past this right hander here. This right hander is so tight, don't really do it justice on that camera angle. You see the time is going up in the top right hand corner, but I forgot to press the pit button on the ECU in front of me. I'm just looking at it now thinking what's going on. You see I've just pressed it now, so I'm a little bit behind. I was about 10 seconds behind. But in racing times, Yeah, 10 seconds is a long time really, so even though I thought it was 10 seconds, I didn't really know. So we aired on the side of caution with that. Got the fan straight onto the brakes. Let a bit of air into the car. It was really hot.
What's the water temperature?
I can't see, it's on the timer.
The top left.
98. Rad's on, rad fan.
So I put the fan on for the car, just make sure the water temperature don't get too hot where we're standing still. So this 2 minute is mandatory, so if you're driving yourself, you don't have...
10 seconds.
I pressed it about 10 seconds after. It didn't press when I pressed it again, but yeah.
You see, I'm just discussing the timer.
You reckon?
Yeah, about 5. I'll leave it, it's be fine. It'll be fine. I counted, it's alright.
You see Scott's a little bit worried about the timer.
When I looked down to see where you were, it still hadn't engaged. I pressed it again and it started.
I want to go to 10 because when you're in the car, 10 seconds can feel like...
Yeah, it's a long time, yeah.
Yeah, so the 2 minutes is mandatory, so that if there's a shared car, they haven't got any handicap against someone that's doing it themselves, so it really opens up the strategy and everything. 2 minutes is a long time to do even a driver change as well, but it just keeps everything fair. So Scott waves me out now. See, I wasn't too far off. So we went out with 2 seconds left on the clock, and it was 2:06.9. So the Civic that's just gone past is now P1. He was the car that was behind me. I thought we kind of lost that much time in the pits. We knew we were faster than him on track, so I knew I had it all to do, but gave me a challenge. I liked something in front of me as a target. So again, now it's head down. I knew I had the speed over him. Reduce the mistakes. Get back right on the back of him. I can see pushing hard, missing apexes, so started to overdrive slightly, which was good for me to see. So by the end of the first lap, where I was getting things back up to temperature, he did gap me a little bit. You see he missed the apex there again, so I knew I was in his mirrors, giving him a bit of pressure. Catch right up under the back of him here. Took a good chunk of time out of him there. He's missing his apex again there, so I knew he was looking in his mirrors, missing his braking spots. Catching me out again. See, I took a good chunk of time out of him that lap, even with a couple of little mistakes in there. Now this time I was comfortable. I knew I needed to push to get past him, but I was fairly comfortable knowing that I'll be able to have the pace to do that. Gears catching me out again. I started to get a little bit frustrated with that. Again, nice bit of time taken out of him. Temperatures were getting up again. Started to feel that the front right was pushing on. Just love listening to the sound of this thing around there. You see I'm right on the back of him, he's gone a little bit deep there. Now I know I'm right in his mirrors, he's going to be looking all over the place for me. Just trying to work out what my best positions are to start making a move on him when I get up a bit closer. I'm noticing he's missing apexes again there a little bit. So I'm nice and tight onto the back of him now. Just going into the last corner here, you can see I'm quite close. To me, I'm thinking this is the lap. I'm starting to move around a little bit, give him something to think about in the mirrors. Braked a little bit later than me there, but you can see he missed his apex again. He's gone quite deep there. So I'm on the power nice and early, right onto the back of him. Starting to jiggle around. So make him take a tight line here. Making him feel a little bit uncomfortable. It's the closest I've been. Again, always in the back of my mind, I don't want to cause any damage, so I was a little bit cautious. So to make sure I'm right on the back of him for the exit of this next corner, this right hand. I knew I'd been good on the exit of this for the whole weekend, so make him take a little bit of a tighter line than he wanted to. I see he ran a little bit wide on the power nice and early, managed to get up the inside of him for this right hand kink. I just had the run on him. It's just enough to get up the inside of him there. Spot my braking point, job done. Now, just a case of running away. I knew we had the pace. I've opened up a fairly nice gap already, probably about 3/4 of a second there now. So now we're just stepping into the last lap of the race. I've managed to open up quite a sizable gap by now. So it's just a case of bringing it home. Rear of the car is dancing around where the rears are overheating now. Track temp was up to about 25-26 degrees. Just had the Toyo 888s on the back, so they don't like getting too hot. Taking it nice and easy now. Just making sure I hit all my markers again. Bring it home. This time I was very sweaty, I'll say, extremely sweaty. It's a lot of work to do in 45 minutes. Quite an intense track, you know. There's a few straights, but there's different kind of corners, different places you need to really think about where you're braking, make sure you hit your spot. So it's quite an intense track to drive. It's going into the last couple of corners now. The left-hand kink. Coming into the last corner. Big smile across my face already at this point. I can see him on the wall. I came right over. That was it, job done. P1. Amazing job by the team at ProAm. Thank you to Chris and Scott. Driving the car all the way out there, towing the car all the way out there. They had an amazing result in their race as well. Made it a little bit difficult with the pit stop, but.
And the winner, Richard Jeep.
We can start to celebrate.
He doesn't know where he's going.
Mr. Stuart Gatland,
I'll tell him.
MSV Championship Manager, entrega los trofeos, present the trophies.
So just back in from the race, yeah, we ended up with P1. Thank you to the team, ProAm, professional as ever. Chris and Scott do an amazing job. They come home with P1 in their race as well. I made it a little bit tough. I didn't start the pit timer when I crossed the line, so we were a little bit unsure. So we ended up actually going about 5-6 seconds past how long we needed to be in the pits. So we came out just behind P1. We came out in P2. I was in P1 before, so I had to pass him on track. Made it stick. Ended up winning by I think 12 odd seconds. So pretty solid. Navarra is such a great track. We've really enjoyed it this weekend. It's a shame we have to leave. We could do with another day here really, but great track. Recommend it to anyone coming out here. Mr. Palmer, you can put that little bit of money back in my bank account if you like, for giving you a big up, but you know. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch up soon. Take it easy.